Man United 1, West Ham United 0. Fighting performance. Fighting performance. That's the first place I have to start when I'm breaking down this game. I have to big up and commend the team spirit, the ethos, the energy throughout the team. It's infectious. Before I even talk about individuals, I've seen, the clips and the scenes at the end of the game when all the players are huddling and they're high-fiving, they're beating each other's chest. The pictures are out there. This is where it starts with building a strong team. Was it perfect today? Absolutely not. Did we have to suffer a little bit? Yes, we did. Could we have conceded? Yes, we could have. But, the answer to those questions is no, we didn't do those things, though. We didn't do those things, and that's because we fought hard. I'm actually going to start with Diogo Dalot first, right? Because when we have to deep what this kid's doing, right? I'm not saying he's out of this world and he's world-class, etc., but what he's doing, putting in performance after performance, with little to next to no rest, is absolutely out of this world. I don't even know what his stats are aerially in the duels that he won, etc., but I counted at least 4 or 5. Back post, right place, right time, positionally aware, winning his headers in dangerous positions. Ben Rama's a tricky character. He's just got the legs and the engine to just keep going. Dispossessed him a couple of times. He's just been absolutely at it. And I think Ten Hag said something about we need 2 good fullbacks in both on both sides, alluding to that Wan-Bissaka's not up to it. But in defence in praise of Diogo Dalot, this is a guy who we shouldn't underestimate, because I think it's going to go under the radar. I hope it hasn't. I haven't seen social media what people have had to say. This is just me speaking straight after the game. But he has just gone from strength to strength, and he's showing such a high level of consistency, considering he's literally has to do it by himself in that position. I know Erik Ten Hag spoke about Victor Lindelof being able to play there, etc., or Malacia, but we know that we need a proper right back there, and he has just been absolutely out of this world. Luke Shaw, I think, has looked really assured, excuse the pun. I think he's just solid. There's a calmness about him. He looks really sharp. He looks really strong. He's reading the game really well. Okay, we need some more assists and stuff like that, but he's the one who puts in the assist for Casemiro's goal in our last Premier League game away at Chelsea. And Jarrod Bowen is another tricky customer, another tricky player. But again, I'm looking at the fullback and I'm like, I just think you're going to get the better of him. I just think whoever you come up against, I back you to have the better of them right now. And that is across the whole back line. Lisandro Martinez. This guy is infectious. He doesn't put a foot wrong. And you know what actually is fantastic about what he's doing now is there was a question that was unanswered, but you could argue that there's a question mark of what happens if he doesn't play with Varane? What happens if he has to play with Maguire? What happens if he has to play with Lindelof? Well, I'll tell you what happens. He does exactly the same thing, which is be a warrior, which is win every duel, which is win every battle, which is be commanding, which is be good on the ball, be proactive on the ball. He's just so good. What a signing he's been. And you know what? I remember in the summer how we went for Jurriën Timber so hard before we got Martinez. And a lot of people, we got our hearts set on it, and you start to think, right, that's the player we're going to want. But it's funny how things work out, because I tell you what, Jurriën Timber is a right centre-half. How refreshing has it been having somebody who's left-footed, playing left centre-back, who does what he does? And the fact that, he's small in stature and stuff like that, I love him even more. We've been crying out for a player like him for so long. And I think what he's doing is literally spreading, not just throughout the back four, but the whole team. When can you remember Manchester United players punching the air and stabbing each other and hugging? And just when can you remember it? It just hasn't been there. Obviously, that is a team thing as well. But Martinez is a big part of that. And you know what? Erik Ten Hag said it to us in the last press conference that we was in pre-game. Last week Wednesday, before the Ammonia game, when I asked him about the connection between the fans and what Martinez brings, he said Leacher has it. I think he used the Dutch word of what he is bringing. I don't know what it was called, but basically he's smashing it. So a shout out to the whole back four. And Harry Maguire today as well. Big blocks, big headers, defended well, okay on the ball. Sometimes a little bit slow, wanted him to progress the ball a little bit quicker. But again, he fell in line with the rest of the guys who have been doing well at the back. And it's another clean sheet. Christian Eriksen with a little bit of stardust. Do not underestimate the ball he puts in for Rashford. I'll get to Rashford in a second. But the ball that he puts in for Rashford is so inch perfect. And he has half a look. He gets the ball off Bruno, brings it down, has half a look to his left, probably just sees the red of the shirt in the corner of his eye and puts it on a sixpence. And Rashford, you know what? he's starting to cook. He's gaining confidence. You look at the goal he scored against Sharif, header, great header. He missed. He got a header again today against Fabianski that was right at him. Fair enough. And then keeps going at it. Keeps arriving in the position, and a towering header over the right back. Towering header, because he's still got to go and attack that ball. It wasn't a really easy header that Christian Eriksen done. Yeah, he put the ball in the perfect area for Rashford to go and attack, but Rashford still had to be there. And that's what is actually impressing me most about Marcus Rashford at the moment. The fact that he's arriving in the positions all the time, whether it's cutting in from the left and having a shot, whether it's now with his head, where he's becoming an aerial threat, he's in the positions and he's constantly engaging fullbacks, and that's what we want. Now, the other side of it is the fact that we're not the finished article. You know, Erik ten Hag spoke about that, I think, in his post-match. I've seen some comments of him saying, or someone was saying that the comments that he said was, there's still a way to go. And, you know, second half, I think we made some bad choices on the ball. You know, the quality wasn't quite there, was giving up possession too easily. Then you could maybe argue that the game management, the later it got into the half, wasn't good as well. I think the changes from Ten Hag was really good with what he had to work with. I don't think Elanga was playing too well. Didn't want to bring Sancho in. You know, put Bruno onto the right, put Eriksen into the 10. I thought that was the right thing to do. Brought Fred in, brought McTominay in. He made the right choices with what he had. But I think it was individual errors. We just kept making mistakes. We kept giving the ball back to West Ham. So what I will say is that our performances throughout the 90 minutes do this. They go up and down like that. But there's a certain level of performance that we won't go below. And that's what I think is fantastic with what Erik ten Hag is building. There's a certain level of performance that when we're not playing well offensively, we still won't drop below defensively, or we still won't drop below in midfield with the shape of how we defend as a unit altogether. So for me, we're building, we're starting to cook. We know it's going to be tough. This is why I predicted, you lot tell me don't do predictions. I predicted 1-0 tight game. And we were literally, I don't want to say hanging on at the end, because we had opportunity to just go up the other end and just keep the ball and make better decisions. So we weren't getting rained on, but we had to bite our nails a little bit because David De Gea made some big saves. And, you know, it doesn't need to be a I told you so moment, or the people who think De Gea is this. It doesn't need to be that. It just needs to be, actually, this is the reminder that when you need David De Gea most, at shot stopping, he's still not irreplaceable, but he's still got a massive, massive point to prove, and he's still got a way to save us points and to win us points, and that's what he done today. Casemiro, I think, is growing in confidence as well. Still a little bit indifferent on the ball. Some passes may go adrift. Eriksen was guilty of giving a few away as well. So we didn't make great decisions on the ball throughout the whole game. But do you know what? I'm fine with that. Like I said, when we're fighting like we did now, that's all I can ask for. And my man of the match could be De Gea, it could be Dalot, but I've got to give it to Martinez. Martinez was just out of this world. He's just so infectious on this team, and he is exactly what we've been needing. Argentina. Smash the like on the video, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel as well. I'm out of it. Peace.